By the way,
Am I looking?
yeah,
Right.
speak to the camera.
Okay.
Rephrase the question in your own
Okay.
words.
All
You
right.
know the drill, 30 seconds to a minute. What was the one thing that changed your career?
The one thing that changed my career was really recognizing that I had the power on stage to enroll an audience and move them to action. So it was a mindset that changed my career. So first it was the mindset, recognizing that people want to be put to action, they want to be held accountable, and they want someone to walk through that journey with them. The physical thing that changed my life was the secret tsunami. That's the nickname that I give it. It was an amazing opportunity to contribute to a project. I didn't get any revenue stream on that. People think I'm bathing in $100 bills. And no, I didn't. Rhonda Byrne asked, will you help me transform the planet and help humanity? And I said yes. And so it was a gift of service. And because I operated from a gift of service, the rest is history.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. What are you most passionate about now? What projects keep you up at night? What are you? I heard you talking today about drilling deep, and I like that. But what is that thing you're most passionate about today?
I am most passionate about really taking that young entrepreneur or woman or teen, those are my three focuses, and really helping them transform what they would call a breakdown into a breakthrough. See, there's many people who work with the high 1%, the super achievers, and realistically and honestly speaking, that wasn't me. And so I would be out of my element. I was that C average student who barely qualified for anything. And so I was the one who questioned everything about myself. So my passion is empowering those who may feel powerless, for helping people to build their bounce back muscle, for showing people that it's okay to get knocked down 200 times, just get up 201. So my passion in this season is really showing people that when you say no matter what, every other option is off the table.
Well, thank you so much. Next one is, what is your favorite technique to generate money? In this industry, there's lots of techniques out there. What's your favorite one you like to use?
It's funny because the way you contexted threw me into confusion because my favorite technique to serve generates money. So I'm translating it. Right. Okay. 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 So I recognize that money is simply an exchange of service. That when you serve someone, the fiscal exchange is just an acknowledgement of your efforts. So the way that I like to serve people, which generates revenue in my company, my primary way I think would be live and on stage. I'm a relationship person. I love to drop into amazing relationships, if only for a moment or for a long period of time. So I love keynote speaking, but I'm passionate about training and workshops. I love people to either get on the phone with me through a teleseminar or to get in the live room with me, and we get to drill deep into your core beliefs, your core passions, and your core limiting beliefs. I love working through the mucky muck so that I can get to the shine. I love polishing the diamond, taking the mud and the coal off of it so that we can see it shine. I love pulling up my sleeves, and I love helping you identify that thing that when you release this or when you grab onto this, life will forever be changed. So I love working with people up close and personal.
Perfect. That's a wonderful technique. What is the greatest challenge you had to overcome to get to do what you're doing now?
Ooh-wee. My greatest challenge was my limiting beliefs. Believing that a woman like me from South Central Los Angeles, who grew up between the Harlem Crip 30s and the Rolling 60s, whose highest grade was a C+, who made some pretty insane mistakes as a young child and as a young adult, could absolutely live the life she loves and love the life she lives. So if you ask me my biggest challenge, it was believing it was possible. It was giving myself permission to touch something and watch it turn to gold, to inspire people in spite of my past, to get knocked down and get back up, and then to teach millions of people how to do it. So my biggest challenge was giving myself permission. And when I did, my life became barely recognizable.
Would you mind if we throw your son in there with you?
No, not at all.
Stand next to Mom. I'm not gonna
Like, here you go again. Imagine just you on your book tour.
No.
Yeah?
No. I don't want to.
Okay, I'm going to be with it.
Wet your lips.
Okay. So the question is, how do you juggle being a mom and being a worldwide success?
First, I know my priorities.
I'll include the question.
I'm sorry. How do I juggle? How do I juggle being a mom and a worldwide success? I said I was going to write a book called Single Mom CEO because there's just a whole element to it. Number one is I'm always looking and envisioning myself at 85, sitting in my rocket chair on the beach, looking back at my life. And I'm visualizing what story do I want to tell about the type of mom I was, the type of businesswoman I was. And I make sure that I'm living that story now. I make sure that my son, Jelani, knows that he's priority. And I let my public know that my son is loaning me to you today. That my role is to be a child of God, to be a mother, and then to be a businesswoman in that order. While my son and I, we have great sacrifices from each other because I travel a lot. We're in agreement about it. So we kind of talk about it, don't you think?
I do.
What would you say about being in the world called, the whirlwind called the Lisa Nichols experience and what I do in my travels and just how that's been for you? Because you grew up in it.
I think that it has its pros and its cons. I mean, the pros are I get to live the experience and that I get the lessons and I live them out daily. And the cons are that although I'm with my mom and when I'm with her, it's awesome, but when she's away helping other people, I have to find a way to kind of like fend for myself, I guess. I have to take what she's taught me and what I've learned and apply it in a real world situation. And yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to keep you guys right. This is really intimate. I love this. If you don't mind me, keep going. What do you want to be when you grow up? Now that you've seen the world, I mean, you've been with your mom, you meet all these amazing people. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, that's funny when you think about what does Jelani want to be when he grows up. We just had this conversation the other day, and some very interesting things came out.
I'm not really sure. I have lots of hobbies and I love to do a lot of things like photography, and I like to cook. I want to be in culinary art. And me and my mom last night were just talking about me writing my first book, and so that was hopefully a possible path to go down. But long term, I don't know what I want to have as a career.
One of the things that I made sure that he did was that he had the freedom to explore, the freedom to choose, the freedom to test the waters. I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, when I turned 28. And so I understand that there's an opportunity to just sample. He doesn't have to do what I do. You know, when he was 10 years old, Jelani and I were sitting in the car where we're driving, and I remember feeling very guilty about leaving him so much. And I said, God, I'm torn between my two loves, the love of inspiring people and my ultimate love for my son. And I was driving and he was quiet, and I was in this internal dialogue, just beating myself up as a parent. And this went on for like 10 minutes, almost to the point of tears. And out of the blue, as if he read my mind, I don't know if you remember this, he says, Mom, I want to be like you when I grow up. And I said, what? I said, you want to speak? He was like, no way. Like, you do not want to be a speaker, huh?
No.
He was like, no, I don't want to be a speaker, Mom. I said, well, what do you mean you want to be like me? He said, I want to travel the world and I want to help people. And it was like healing balm to my soul. So we sacrifice. I miss my son dearly. Like, I'm tearing up now because we're really close and we enjoy being together. And so there's an exchange that occurs. And there's a sacrifice that comes with living your dreams. And you have to ask, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to have the long nights and the early mornings and sometimes the missed baseball games? And if you don't have agreement from your family, then when you're 81 and you're in that rocking chair, you're going to have more regrets than you have satisfaction. And so when I say my son lends me to this work, I don't go anywhere until he says it's okay.
I don't want any regrets. I don't want them to say that you love them more than you love me. That's not okay. While I love you, God gave me him. And so I'm always saying thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this work. Thank you, son.
You're welcome.
Very special.